people? Good morning. This is Off the Roast Boxing MMA. I'm Julian.
What's up, Julian? Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Off the Ropes. This is, of course, your boy George.
A little
A
early
little,
today.
a little early today. Little technical difficulties. I'm glad to see Julian's all in one piece. Sorry to hear about your accident, bro. But hey, we're here. We're gonna do our breakdown before the fights. Obviously, start later on tonight. But here we are, Julian. What do we got?
Yeah,
What do you got going for us, man? Tell me what's going
man.
on.
I don't know, man, but I know that boxing has a little bit of entertainment this weekend going on, from PBC to DAZN to Sky Sports. So let's just break it down a little bit, man. Let's just start off with Sky Sports, man, with America's own Clarissa Shields against Ema Kozin for actually Shields' WBC, IBF, and WBA women's middleweight titles.
Yep.
All right, so pretty much here, I mean, this is gonna be a fun fight, man. For Clarissa Shields, Kozin is undefeated as well, correct?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
yes,
They're both undefeated. Yes.
yeah, they're both undefeated. Kozin is hungry. Of course, she does want to beat this. She does want to beat the face of women's boxing, one of the faces of women's boxing. How do you see this playing out for Clarissa?
Wow, look, man. We know there's bigger things to come for Clarissa, and same thing with Cozen. They actually have Cozen ranked number 3 on
Hmm.
the Ring TV magazine, and then of course, Clarissa Shields is number 1,
In three of
and
the
then
categories.
yeah, and, of course, in 3 of the categories. But as far as the Ring TV, they have Clarissa Shields the ring champion according to Ring TV. And then, of course, you have Miss Savannah Marshall there. But I mean, this should go the way I think it should go, man. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a complete one side for Clarissa Shields. It's gonna be a showcase. Of course, she's fighting somebody that's undefeated. That's a champion, of course, or not a
She,
champion, but a legit contender. I mean, I don't see no other way than other than Clarissa Shields getting this W, man. And she's really not known for power, which is okay. She's a good fighter. I mean,
she's known
she's
for
Olympic
boxing.
pedigree. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's
an
known for
Olymp.
boxing.
She's got the Olympic pedigree. I could see her, getting this in a unanimous decision. What do you think, Julian?
Well, like I said, I mean, no, take nothing from Kozin. I mean, she's what, 9-0, correct? Right now,
Yes.
8-0, yes. So she's, I mean, take nothing from her. I mean, she's got to this point for a reason. There's a reason Clarissa Shields chose her as a fighter.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason Eddie Hearn chose this. I mean, well, not Eddie Hearn, should I say? Frank Warner, BT Sports. Chose all this. Um, so but like I said, I mean, I see Clarissa winning this fight. I don't know if early. We're gonna find out if how Kozin comes out. Pretty much, Kozin has a pretty much aggressive style to her. She's not really willing. I've seen actually caught a couple of her fights on YouTube yesterday, and
Mhm.
this girl goes at you, man. Like, she'll come
Yeah.
straight at you, and that's what, like, I mean, will Clarissa have some problems with it? Maybe, because we've seen her
Mhm.
struggle with people coming at her.
Yeah.
But like we said, the Olympic pedigree, the the experience, is what wins all these fights for Clarissa. I mean, she don't need the power.
No, I guess if we would say stylistically, Emma is pretty much tailor made for Clarissa Shields'
Yes,
style of boxing. So, I mean, yeah, we're going to see. I
correct.
mean, the last time that Clarissa Shields was in the ring was in 2021 in March. So, I
March.
mean, almost a full year that she's been in the ring. But we obviously know she stays busy, either if it's an octagon or a ring. So it's not like she's not busy. She just had a MMA fight a
She
few months
lost,
back.
but hey,
It's all right. It was yeah.
yeah,
Either way, she's in there. If there shouldn't be no ring rust. I mean, she's comfortable. It is a ring compared to an octagon, but she is in there fighting a live person, and it wasn't sparring. So I wouldn't say we're gonna see any kind of ring rust from Clarissa Shields.
yeah, I wouldn't either. I mean, I see her and Savannah Marshall kind of been going back and forth.
Yes, yes.
This is something that she's called for, something that Savannah Marshall wants too.
Hmm.
It's just, do you think this fight will get made after this?
Yeah, actually, Clarissa Shields, in the press conference, has stated after this fight, after actually both women fight, uh, Clarissa actually Savannah Marshall is going to be fighting Femke Hermans right here on the screen. They
Yeah.
got a fight going on, I think, next month. So I mean, if it goes the way it's gonna, if it's gonna go the way I'm assuming it's gonna go, and most of us really think that we know how it's gonna go, Marshall's obviously gonna get that win. That's the fight that everybody's been asking for, is the Shields and Marshall. And like I said,
July. I see
yeah,
July, June.
yeah,
Mhm.
and then like I said, Clarissa Shields says she wants this fight next. There's no way around it. She says she wants this fight. And look at what she signed in. She actually got signed a Boxer. And if you look at Boxer, they got, they're all coincide with Matchroom, DAZN. They all,
Everybody. They're involved with everybody in BT
man.
Sports,
And they
Sky
have,
Sports.
they have a big variety of women boxing. And I want to say almost all the women boxing is in that group. So it's not like there's not any fights to be made for Clarissa Shields when she's done. But yes, that fight will definitely be made for her.
Yes, I mean, I love it too, man. It's just, to me, I feel both styles. I think that'll possibly be a fight of the year candidate as well if you see these two going at it with each other.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
man.
I could definitely I could actually see Clarissa coming through adversity, in this fight, or vice versa. Savannah Marshall's already been to that adversity, so I mean, can she expose Savannah Marshall more, or will Savannah Marshall expose her?
Yeah, I mean, yes. Did you say Clarissa Shields been through adversity?
No, like I said, Clarissa Shields has to overcome adversity. She hasn't overcome adversity in boxing.
She has. She actually got dropped. Like,
it was like 2 fights ago, huh?
Yeah, 2 fights ago. Okay, and it was a close fight, man.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
I lied.
Cut the tape. It's all right. Right, I'm messing. No, you're right, dude. I mean, I think every fighter possesses different styles. Savannah Marshall, she's a big girl. I think
she's a thick girl, bro. And that's why I was looking at her like she's like not fat. I'm talking like muscle thick. Like this girl can bounce. Like she could bang.
Yeah, and we know size don't matter.
Exactly.
Look at Mr. Canelo. Come on.
Yeah, it don't matter at all. I mean, moving on. I mean, we also have another card that we have Mr. Chris Eubank Jr., man. We haven't seen him in the ring in a little bit either, versus Liam Williams.
Yes.
I believe Liam Williams' last fight was last year too. I think against Boo Boo, was it?
Yeah, that was a fight against Boo Boo. Yes.
Yeah, that's the fight that he actually looked kind of good against Boo Boo, and I think this possessed more of a view for Chris Eubank Jr. To fight him because of the fight that he did give Boo Boo Andrade.
Yeah, I mean, he did get dropped in the first round against Andrade. I think he had a little more success, like maybe like mid to later rounds.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's when he started taking over, I think. But
yeah, and then if you got to look at it too, I mean, it's not like Liam Williams isn't ranked. If you look here on the screen, we got him ranked in the WBC. We have him ranked in the WBA and the WBO. Mm-hmm. So he's in the top 10. It's so he's a good fighter, man. He's a good fighter. And even though he gave Andrade,
the shape that he came in yesterday, man. Son of a gun, that dude. Chris Eubank looks ready for a run.
Yeah, and just because he gave Andrade issues doesn't mean that he won't be able to give issues to anybody. I mean, his style it'll possess nightmares for anybody. What do you think, Julian? How do you see this one playing out?
Sheesh, man. Like looking at it, this is the stage of both of their careers right now where they both need a win.
Yes. Right
now, they need this win. I got Chris Eubank Jr. edging Liam Williams. I say majority decision. I'm possibly gonna give you. I mean, like I said, the shape that Eubank came in today for this fight.
Both guys, man.
Both guys. Oh no, definitely. Liam Williams definitely.
They both came to play
too. Yeah, he came to play too, man. But it's just you see that pedigree in Chris Eubank's eyes right now. Especially yesterday's press conference too. Watching, I think he's ready to make a small run. In this division again. I mean, he can, and so can Liam Williams.
Yeah, absolutely. Both
but
guys.
I got Chris Eubank Jr. winning this fight.
Yeah, I agree with you too, man. And Liam Williams will give anybody any kind of issues, no matter who the guy who he faces. It's just his style of fight. Eubanks. His last fight obviously was a win, but he has 2 losses. One against George Groves and Billy Joe Saunders. From what I read or what I remember, is in both fights there was controversy. He should have won those 2 fights, but
Well,
nonetheless, here he is.
the Billy Joe Saunders fight, I think Billy Joe actually won that fight.
Did you?
Yes, I've actually watched that fight. It's funny as hell. I just watched that fight probably about a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That fight just came on, and I just ended up watching it.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
you
is
know,
that Alexa in the background?
yes, she is. She's speaking back there. She scared me.
Oh shit. Yeah. Dude, I mean, this is Roy Jones' second time with him, correct? With Chris Eubanks. So
Yes, it is. So
yeah, and what is possibly in store for Eubanks if he wins this fight again? I put up the boxing scene rankings at 154. He's ranked number 1 in the WBA.
there's a
So
lot of heads. There's a lot of heads in that division.
yeah, man. So I mean, he's high on the WBA. He's high in the WBC. Um, Jermel, we know he's got a date with
Castano.
Castano. Yeah, so maybe that one's out of the window or out of the picture. But he's definitely ranked in there. I could definitely see him in there with somebody. I mean, who knows what's to happen with Canelo later on? Who knows? Maybe the Triple G fights come. Maybe the Triple G fight gets made first before anybody else. We don't know, but I'm just kind of playing a promoter card here, or not even the promoter card, just guessing what I think, And like I said, he's won in WBA. He could either fight Murado or Lara, but he's definitely ready. He was close the last few times. He came up short against Billy Joe Saunders. He looks hungry. He's ready to go. I think I agree with you. I think it'll be a close majority decision for Eubanks, and sky's the limit for the guy, man.
Yes, it is. I mean, for both fighters, and I mean, any fighter in this ring, the sky's the limit. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care where you're at. I mean, that even goes into the fight we're talking about right now. It's going on. That's going to go on in Phoenix tonight on the DAZN card. Okay, so I mean, we have an actual replacement here for Carlos Cuadras. And Carlos Cuadras actually has a replacement in fighting Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Everyone.
Yeesh.
I mean, if you haven't heard of Jesse Bam Rodriguez, I mean, this kid, Phoenix boy, right?
Yes.
Arizona boy. I mean, undefeated. Uh, this is a pretty big fight for him, man. Do you think he bit off a little bit more than he can chew?
Me, I think sometimes when it comes to boxing with the young guys, sometimes it's just timing. It could just be perfect timing. Now, I was listening to Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix talking about this fight, and I agree with Sergio Mora, and he said that he sees if Cuadras didn't go through these last couple of wars that he had with Estrada, like this is going to be a totally different fight. He still thinks that Rodriguez is going to win a close fight, and this is actually him coming up in weight. So
yeah, it is. But he made the weight like nothing.
He made the weight. I think this is going to be a really good fight. I pick Rodriguez, and I'm not going to call it an upset. I just think it's perfect time, perfect place. He's the young guy. No, it's not upset because Cuadras is very game and experience the youth. That's the same cliche thing that people go by is the youth and experience, and you see it here. And it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be youth, and Rodriguez is an all around good fighter. Like he's got great footwork. He's like the way Mora put it, and I agree. He says he kind of sees him like as a Lomachenko in a kind of way, like the way he moves in and out. He gives you different angles. He's really good on with his footwork, and not that Cuadras is a stationary fighter, but he's gonna give him problems, man. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick Rodriguez. I'm gonna go with the unanimous decision, but very close.
No, I do agree with you too. I mean, up and coming star. He's ready. Cuadras, like I said, he's been in many.
Julian, you there?
But I mean that doesn't really show just the way he fights.
Yeah.
I mean he's just a banger. But I mean, Bam. There's a reason they call him Bam Bam. He has power. And I do see Jesse Rodriguez getting this win on DAZN. He is fighting in the hometown, and
That's big.
I see him victorious, man. I see him with the belt finally over. He's gonna get Cuadras' belt today.
That's big, yeah, man. I'm excited for him. He's a good young talent.
Arizona
Um,
boy.
yeah, for sure, man. Phoenix, Phoenix. It's a good night or a good day for Arizona in general. You got some Arizona guys fighting,
The
and what a
PBC
way for
card.
yeah, and what a way for Rodriguez to actually be fighting in his hometown in the main event. I mean, shit, dude, can't be any perfect than that. Other than capping off a win, which would obviously just put the ultimate stamp on his win.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just stepping away, from the DAZN card. Let's talk about our main event tonight, man.
Okay,
Our PBC events tonight,
okay.
man. There's a lot of.
Did you want to do the prelims?
Oh yeah, for the DAZN. Oh
Yeah.
heck yeah, for
Oh,
sure,
just
for
real
sure.
quick, I actually just saw this morning when I was looking over my notes and stuff. But if you see here, both Vargas's brothers are gonna be fighting on this card tonight, man.
Both of his boys, dude, are fighting tonight. And Vargas is their trainer, other trainers. So
Yeah,
let's see.
yeah. And then there's
Shout out to Vargas.
another young dude, Keith, Bounty Hunter. Have you heard of him?
Yes, I have. That's the
He's
dude that knocked out that mafia inside the freaking casino, dude. I
yeah,
freaking love
yeah,
that
yeah,
kid.
yeah.
I
He's
love
fighting
that kid.
tonight too. Yeah, he's definitely fighting tonight. So I just
Yeah,
wanted to
I was
drop that real
excited.
fast.
I was excited to see that, man. There's some. Uh, you have a lot of fights going on tonight, bro. The prelims, like we talked about, we have Abel Ramos versus Luke Santa Maria. And then you have Ryan Carl versus Omar Suarez. Abel Ramos, up and coming.
Yeah,
You
man. Yeah.
know, undefeated star. You know, he's actually has I think his uncle is a boxer too. Is actually fighting tonight too.
No shit. Who's his uncle?
He can Jesus Ramos.
Oh,
Yeah, Jesus Ramos
no
is.
shit.
Yeah, bro. So they're fighting on the same card tonight. I actually read that little story. I read that story yesterday, and they're fighting on the same card.
that's
What a
that's badass, bro.
what a better way. What a better way to fight on the card. Ramos, Arizona boy too.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Carl Casagrande,
Carl's actually from Texas.
Texas, but he
Yeah.
fights at Casa Grande, right?
Yeah,
Is
I
that what it
think
was?
so. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just showing the love here. We have, we have people like, just going down the line we'll talk about a little later. Keenan Carbajal too, another Arizona boy.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I
So,
said, so we'll just get right into this card, man.
yeah, for sure.
We have starting off, man. We have Luis Neri versus Carlos Castro.
Yep.
And Castro's undefeated, man. Undefeated. He's hungry. He's Neri coming off of a loss to Brandon Figueroa. We all know who Pretty Boy Figueroa is. Um, you know, did you think, like, where does this fight mean for Neri?
This is I wouldn't call it a crossroads, obviously, because his only loss was against Brandon Figueroa. So yes, it's big. I don't know. He's not very young, but shit, he's going against Carlos Castro, an undefeated fighter. Um,
Dude, he's good.
yeah, he's really good. His last win was against Escondon.
Yes.
That was in August. And then I didn't realize Carlos Castro was actually ranked number 3 in the WBC. So, I think actually, and then same for Needy. Like Neri is actually ranked out also in that division. So I think a win for either one of these guys will catapult them anywhere. Moving up the ranks or even possibly fight for a belt. I know the champions there are Daniel Roman and of course Stephen Fulton. So
Yes, they are.
it'll be cool to see because obviously Neri fighting Brandon Figueroa was a setup to fight Fulton. So I think if he wins, that'll be his. I'm the one that should have been fighting Fulton. I like Neri, but in this one, I just feel like Carlos Castro has everything going for him, and I think it'll almost be a similar fight. And Neri, he's a come forward. He'll
Yes,
take them shots. He'll take them shots.
no, he
But
definitely.
I'm definitely gonna go ahead and pick Castro. Maybe a late stoppage. I say about 10 rounds. Maybe you'll see. I mean, Neri's already been. I'm not gonna say exposed, but he's already been hurt to the body. And usually, when the guy gets hurt to the body, it's always gonna kind of be there. So, I could see like Castro maybe getting a late stoppage. Body shot, 10 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him triumph against more high level Neri. I
Hmm.
mean, Neri's already been in there, like you said. I mean, with the likes of I mean, we talk about Brandon Figueroa. We've seen him, fighting people like Aaron Almeida. That's how he won the belt
Yeah.
the first time around. That was at bantamweight. So, I mean, will he stay at bantam? Because I mean that division is loaded.
Yes.
I mean that division is highly loaded right now. But yes, I do see Castro winning late stoppage. I don't think Neri could take the punishment in the late rounds that this kid's actually gonna give. And but hey, man, that's after our next fight. We also have for our second fight, pay-per-view card. We also have him beating Rising Star Jesus Mano Ramos, which we just talked about right now. you know, you just talked about right now. He's actually gonna fight Vladimir Hernandez. Hernandez actually, I think, he's a replacement for Josecito Lopez,
Yeah.
and because Josecito Lopez got injured. It wasn't COVID or nothing. It was injury.
That sucks.
Um, yeah, that's what I said too. This fight too. I mean, Ramos is on a rapid rise. You know, we saw him pretty much as he was like he was like the blurred out prospect, I guess, last year.
Hmm.
You could say, and he's a southpaw from Casa Grande. He's from Casa Grande. His uncle is Abel Ramos, by the way.
Or nephew.
No, actually, no, his uncle is Abel
Oh.
Ramos. No,
Oh.
uncle, the uncle, the
Oh.
the trainer.
Oh.
Yeah, Abel Ramos. That's the one right there. You know, who's well, we all know Abel actually currently owns the welterweight contender titles. Like he claimed three of them in 2021. So I mean, against Javier Molina and Brian Mendoza. I mean, he has a strong boxing background. Um, he's he's pretty much. I mean, he's fighting Hernandez. Coming off a huge win off of J. Rock Williams. On the Deontay Wilder Fury card. I mean, how do
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
see? Do you see the turn of Hernandez's career? Right here. I mean, he's been on kind of a hot streak since his. I mean, he had a rough start to his career, pretty much. But now he's won. He's been winning constantly. Do you see Hernandez giving Ramos this kind of like trouble in the ring today, or do you see even Hernandez winning this fight even?
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to G Funky. What's up, my brother? Good morning. Thanks for
Morning,
tuning
bro.
in. Thanks for tuning in. It's a little early, but hey, good morning. Thank you again for coming by. Yeah, back to your question, bro. I mean, Hernandez seems like he caught himself a good little surge, a little bit late in his career. He's taken, a few losses, a big win, of course, against J Rock on the Fury 3 card. But as far as Ramos and Hernandez, man, this is I think the perfect setup. Even though we've seen J Rock possibly could have set himself up for better and bigger things after the Hernandez fight. I don't think we'll see that here with Ramos. Like you said, he's got a strong boxing background. He does everything really well. He's a really good southpaw.
He
That's
is.
what's
He's
cool.
a
This is a battle of the southpaws right here. Um, but you said the last fight Ramos had was a unanimous decision against Brian Mendoza. That was August 5th. If I'm picking a winner, I'm going with Ramos, and not just because he's undefeated, but I just feel like this is the perfect setup. This is the perfect timing. And then knowing as well that Hernandez had a big win against J Rock, I feel like that'd be perfect for him to get his recognition even more. And and it's not too bad on this card either. So I mean, yeah, we see there are several guys down there that have losses, that lost their last couple of fights. But I mean, all in all, it is a pretty good card if you on paper. on paper, it's a really good card. So, winner for me, I'm going Ramos. I see a decision.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I see Ramos winning this fight. I mean, I think this is kind of where the road ends for Hernandez as for his win streak.
Mhm.
You know, Ramos is being too potent. Has a southpaw as you're talking about. The straight left hand is ridiculous. He has a freaking nasty uppercut with that left hand.
Yeah,
Um, yes, I do see him actually taking this fight, man. I think it's just too much for
for,
Hernandez.
for
You
Vlad.
know, yeah, for Vladimir Hernandez. So
Vlad.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we agree that both those guys that Ramos wins this fight.
Hmm.
And should be entertaining. Should be entertaining for the first few rounds, should I say? Because
Yeah, yeah,
they're both going to come swinging.
yeah. So we got Castro and Ramos winning these ones, correct?
Yes, we do.
Cool, cool. All right.
Yep.
Well,
So what do you think about our main event, man? I mean, we have Phoenix own Michael Carvajal's nephew, Mr. Keenan Carvajal. Cool dude. I got to talk to a little bit yesterday, actually, on IG Live, just a little bit. Cool guy. He's actually facing off against a fan favorite, man. One of my favorite boxers, in Leo Santa Cruz.
mhm.
Leo Santa Cruz coming off of I guess you could say a brutal knockout. That's the last time we've seen him in the ring against Tank Davis,
Mhm.
which Leo was winning the fight, until that happened. I mean, just in my eyes, I mean, just watching it over and over, I mean, Leo got lazy in the ring in the time of the knockout. You know, got pretty, um, it's just he just
Complacent.
yeah, exact complacent. And he just got caught. I mean, yes, it happens to the best of them all. I mean, Pacquiao, we've seen plenty knockouts. I mean, I mean, Paul Williams, stuff like that.
Mm.
But like I said, I mean, moving forward, would you call this a tuna fight for Leo Santa Cruz? I mean, being
Man,
that it's being called that, I mean, by many people right now.
and that's the thing right now that, well, actually, all week, like, when, we're doing our little bit of research, me and you going back and forth about these fights. I mean, I wouldn't even want to call it a tune-up, man. I mean, yes, Carbo has one loss, but he's very game in this one,
Oh
and who
yeah,
knows what kind of state of mind Leo Santa Cruz is in. Especially coming off a knockout loss like that, which was brutal. I'm with you too. I mean, he was, I wouldn't say completely dominating, but he was definitely outpointing.
yep.
I think he just kept. I think Tank Davis was just setting up for that uppercut and just
It's
kept setting,
all
yeah,
day. That's what he does.
setting it up, and he saw his opening, took him out. But we're talking about this fight here. I don't want to call it a tune-up, man, because I feel like Carbajal is very game. I was watching some of his fights. I especially watched the last one against Bonilla in
Hmm.
his last knockout. So he's very game. I mean, it's gonna be close. This one I wouldn't want to call a knockout. Um, to me, I feel like this could go either way. I feel like this could maybe go either way. But I'm going with, of course, Leo Santa Cruz experience. He's been in these kind of fights already before. He knows what to expect, and what better way to do it against against a live fighter, actually a game fighter in Carbajal, and to show that he's back, or he's not just back, but he is who he is. Like, he's still the champion
He
at
wants
that
to be that
division.
126. He
Yeah,
wants
he's
to
still
be
the
that
champion at
champion.
he's still a champion at that division. Hold the belts there at the WBA. But no,
Yeah.
as far as it being a tuna fight, I don't really want to call it a tuna fight, because that's kind of taken away from a little bit away from if he was to win this fight, and Carbajal is a game fighter, so
Oh,
no tuna for me.
no,
But the winner,
definitely.
yeah. But as far as the winner, like we're just saying right now, it's kind of a toss up. But if I have to lean towards somebody, I'm gonna lean a little bit towards Leo Santa Cruz.
The experience.
He's been here, experienced, and he's defending that belt.
You know, I completely agree with you on this one. I mean, yes, we got to put some respect on Keenan Carvajal's name for sure. I mean,
The name,
the family ties. I mean,
yeah,
Michael Carbajal, you cannot I mean, that's a great lightweight boxer of all time. I mean, great Arizona boxer, Arizona ties. He has the tools, to pull off, a victory. I mean, as does any boxer in
Hmm.
any situation. Um, but I mean, I think Keenan just has to fight his fight if he wants to win today. Like he literally has to. But um, Leo, what he needs to do is pretty much just keep the jab out there on Keenan, and I think he just needs to work the combinations when Keenan makes the mistakes of lunging, which he does quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And Leo
know,
Santa Cruz is a good body puncher too, so I could see
very good, very good.
those body shots working, and he's got a good right hand. So going against Carball being a southpaw, so I could see some of those moments where he does capitalize on it.
And I have called this already, and I've talked to you about this already. I do see Leo winning this fight. And I say late round stoppage, actually, just to prove to the world that he's back. You know, and I do think this sets up a Michael Conlan fight for the title again.
Oof, and you see right there, man, Colin is number one in the WBA, so he's in line.
Yeah, but I
Colin
mean,
actually,
technically, this is Leo's belt. That's Leo's
oh yeah,
belt.
of
I mean,
course.
Conlan's the interim champ.
I
So
think
it's
yeah, it's
yeah.
Colin. I thought it was Wood.
Yeah,
Lee
no,
Wood.
no, you're correct. Lee Wood is the interim champ.
Mhm.
Yes, no, you're correct. But I mean, Leo Santa Cruz is. I, I think Leo Santa Cruz is about to set himself up for maybe a September date with Michael Conlan because I know Michael Conlan fights next month too, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be at that fight, and yeah, but I mean, but we're pretty sure we both agree that Leo's definitely gonna take this bout. Like I said, I say late round stoppage. You said it's gonna go
Me. Yeah. I'm gonna say decision. I'm
decision.
gonna
Okay.
definitely go decision. A good competitive unanimous decision for Leo Santa Cruz.
Well, it's respectable right there. Like I said, put some respect on his name because, like I said, he's a Carbajal. I mean, Carbajals don't go down easily.
No, not at
No,
all.
no, they don't go down. That's a big name here in Tucson, big name in Phoenix. We know plenty of them. But hey, let's talk about this main event. This is gonna be fun. To see Keith One Time Thurman back in the ring after almost 3 years of layoff. Mario Lasteca coming off of a loss to Tank Davis, another victim of the Tank Davis knockdown. I mean, though that was a body shot that did it for him, but you know, uh, overall Barrios looked good in that fight. Like nothing great, but he did look good. Um, does I mean, is Keith Thurman making a mistake taking this fight against uh, Mario Barrios, who's actually been pretty damn busy within the last year, and has actually fought some talent, I guess you could say, some top tier talent like a Tank Davis. I mean, how do you see this playing out? I mean, there's one time and another one is he biting off more than he can shoot.
It's tough to say. I could say that mentally, Keith Thurman is right there. He's ready. Um, he's mentioned it. Actually, I posted it on Twitter. I put like a little clip of his interview with Chris Mannix.
Saw that.
Yeah, how he was possibly set to fight in 2020. He ended up getting COVID. He was ready to return right after the Pacquiao loss. He knew that Pacquiao loss, of course, nobody likes to lose, especially when you're a competitive type of fighter. And like he's competitive. Um, he was ready, he got COVID. And then as far as like the hand injury, he wanted to address that the hand injury that he had was actually, ready to go in 2020. So as far as injuries and anything else, like those are all laid to rest according to Keith Thurman.
Hmm.
Again, mentally, he's there. He's focused. I mean,
He looks
I do
good.
like listening. I definitely like listening to him talk. He's got good philosophies. You could tell he's a guy that's really educated, that
Very
reads really
smart.
well.
He's very
Yeah,
smart.
very smart. he was mentioning too that going through that, he kind of went through a little bit of depression. He was actually walking around about 192.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he said it was a little bit heavy. You know, he was
Damn.
new dad, new husband, new dad, new husband.
Talk about dad bod.
Hey,
I got one. It's okay.
hey, you're all right, man. You're all right. Underneath that, you know, there's some sexiness going on, Julian. You're all right,
There's a
bro.
six pack in there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so it's just that, you know, he was going through a little bit of depression, walking around at 192, and when you realize, you know, it's time to get the ball rolling, to get going, to get this fight in order. He dropped some weight, and he says typically, before he fights or before any kind of scheduled fights, you know, he's like about 15, 20 pounds heavier. So it's pretty easy for him to go ahead and drop down to 147. But
Yeah, I mean, but look at how tall Mario Barrios is compared to him. Imagine the weight
yeah,
he's gonna put on. I mean, but that didn't matter really, because I mean, look what Tank did.
yeah,
I mean, look what Tank ended up doing. Keith Thurman does work the body very a lot too. I mean, he's one of the few welterweights I think in the division that actually does good body work.
yeah.
You know,
But as far, oh, I'm sorry.
no,
Yeah,
go ahead.
so yeah, I wasn't quite done yet. But mentally, and then if you see here, physically, he doesn't look drained at all. You can, you know, he looks pretty fluid. Like there's no dehydration. You know, no really. You don't see like sunken eyes. He looks like he's ready to go. As far as biting off too much, I don't think he did, man. I think this is actually, I think, a good fight for him. But I think a good question, honestly, is to really ask: do we see him the Pacquiao? Do we see him before Pacquiao when he fought, you know, Sean Porter, Danny
Danny
Garcia?
Garcia.
Are we going to see that? Are we going to see that Keith Thurman? All we could do is hope, speculate, and to see
Watch.
what happens and watch. And then just real quick, G Funky, if you're on right now, if you're listening, yes, he is related to Michael Carbajal. But anyways, back to the Keith Thurman. It's just gonna be a good fight, man. And this is Barrio's first time at 147.
Yeah, it is. But he said he feels more comfortable at this weight only because he's able to make the weight. He said when he went down to 140, his
Mhm.
body didn't feel too good. His body didn't feel hydrated like it does right now. It doesn't feel as fluid as it does, you know, as he feels at 147.
Yeah, and I mean, what fighter doesn't say they had the best camp of their life? This is the best camp ever. I
Exactly.
the best
Everybody.
weight. We really don't know exactly what's going to happen to this fight until the fight actually happens. So I guess two questions that I could answer without trying to beat around the question. Will we see the Keith Thurman the old, or will we see like a new and improved Keith Thurman, mentally ready, physically ready? I'm gonna say yes. I
I
could.
say the old
Yeah,
Keith
I could
Thurman.
see Keith Thurman winning this one. Again, it is a competitive fight, man. It is a very competitive fight. Mario Barrios, you know, trying to bounce back from a fight that was really freaking close down to the end until Floyd
Still got
Mayweather
knocked down.
until Floyd got in Javante Tank Davis's
Face,
ear and
ear.
said, "Hey, you got to get this shit going, man."
You're
Uh,
losing this freaking fight. Pretty much told him.
yeah, man. So
I mean, if Mayweather told you that, yeah, you're losing the fucking fight. I mean, I'm
yeah,
sorry to the cursing, but yeah, I mean, he's telling you that. I mean, but what did that do to Tank? I mean, of course, it stepped it up a notch, and look what happened. But I
yeah,
mean, this is great for. Um, I think. Do you think this places Keith Thurman back in that 147 talk? You know, with the Spences, now the TCs, now. I mean, just the loaded division, bro. Virgil Ortiz. I mean, yeah, Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Absolutely, man. I absolutely believe so. He was mentioning that him and Terrence Crawford actually have the same manager. So
Well, that's not good though, because then that fight won't happen.
I mean, if anything, why wouldn't it happen when you have the same manager? If you don't have this at least something in common like that, that fight really going to happen. And we know Terrence Crawford is pretty much walking as a free agent, so he doesn't really have anybody. But you know, he's got his ties to MTK. I heard he's got
Yeah,
ties to Boxer.
the boxer, yes, he does.
So I could definitely see that fight happening next. Of course, if we get Keith Thurman winning, which I do got him winning, and
I
I
do.
will put him back in there, man, with these guys. I think as the fight's happening next, I think we'll see Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford. I could definitely see that because this will actually catapult both the guys right where they want to be. I mean, we're asking for
High
um,
level fights, high
yeah,
level
we
fights in
got
this
we got a,
sport.
a pretty high level fight with Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford,
Yeah,
and
finally. I
then
mean, finally for one.
And just to mention real quick, and I mean, I think I've told you this, in the last 9 fights, Terrence Crawford is the only guy to get a knockout as a champion and defending out of any current champion from light to heavyweight. So I mean, there's something there. I mean, he is fighting and defending his belts, but back to Keith Thurman, I do see Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford fighting next, more than anything.
Yeah,
And
I do
Ugas,
too.
yeah,
I do too.
and then Ugas and Spence, they're gonna be a little bit tied up. That one, I think, whoever wins that one, you're gonna see that one. That one drag out for them for their second fight to go a little bit later on, like towards the fall. I think we'll see one of those guys returning to the ring, and I think with Keith Thurman right now fighting in early February and Terrence Crawford not having a fight yet, I could see that one happening maybe the end of the spring. I mean, yeah, right at the end of the spring, maybe.
Yeah, I could possibly see it happening too. Keith Thurman, like I said, is one of my favorite fighters as well. I mean, even like through the layoff, I was pretty pissed at him for the layoff, but hey, shit happens. Injuries, COVID, all that happened. But fast forward, Keith Thurman, he looks hungry, man. Too, he looks hungry to get back in the division, like you were talking about.
Mhm.
Uh, Mario Barrios, like I said, now he needs to. I believe this. He needs to come out and fight his game plan like he had against Tank. Just don't get too lazy with anything in the later rounds, man. And I mean, he could keep that kind of stamina going. Just, I mean, he looked great from 1 through 6, and then all of a sudden started dragging down. Started dragging down. But I do see one time winning this. I mean, possibly the same way. The
Decision. Oh,
same
stop.
way. No, stop it. It's possibly the same way. Now that we found out how vulnerable the body of Barrios is,
Hmm.
I mean, 'cause I really feel that Keith is going to run after that. I really do think he's going to take the body, and we all know Keith has power. We all know Keith could counter. We all know Keith has a massive left hook.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so
Then
so
it's yeah. And speaking of like knockdowns, I don't think Keith Thurman's had a knockout since like 2018. So I'm
time
sure
to
he's
show the
hungry.
world. Time to
Yeah, I'm
show the
sure.
world again.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gunning for it. He's seen that Barrios has been vulnerable, and the same thing with Keith Thurman. He's been pretty vulnerable to the body, and we've seen him get knocked down by Pacquiao. But that is Pacquiao. So I think we'll see a really good competitive fight. I think both guys will try to jump on each other a little bit early. Both are
Agreed.
have
Agree.
Barrios having a shorter layoff compared to Thurman. So I think, and then Thurman being a little bit older too. Like, who knows how long it's going to take for him to get going and get
Thurman.
comfortable, acclimated into the ring. Both guys are going to jump on each other early, like I said. But I just think as the rounds go on, you're going to see Keith Thurman get comfortable, and I was I'm agreeing with you on that too. I could see Keith Thurman getting that stoppage that he deserves and he needs, and he knows what this win will do for him.
Yeah, and I mean, this will. I mean, this will. I mean, I think he's the most prized fighter that PBC has. Honestly, when he was winning, when he was actually busy, like I see him. I think he sold more than half of these guys did. Just for the name, the one-time name. I'm just
Hmm.
saying. I'm just saying that because he was able to sell the fight. He's a humble, but he's an asshole at the same time. He's that guy. He's just that guy. And he's it's just I think this will probably be big for PBC too. I mean, if he does win, because like I said, I mean, you're setting up. I mean, Spence is in house. I mean, you have all these other fights that could be made in this division that are in house too. But will they get made? It's PBC. We can never tell you.
Yeah, and it's really shocking to me. Just to go a little off topic, I guess we can go into like some closing thoughts here. Since I mean, I think we both agree on what's going to happen in this fight, or pretty much all the fights on all the cards. Good fight, good weekend. I'm excited. I mean, I'm going to go to bed right now in a little bit. I'm coming off nights.
Hmm.
I'm a boxing warrior, man. I love my boxing. Like I said, I haven't gone to bed yet. I just got off of work, but once I wake up, I'm ready. Got my coffee. I'm gonna have my third round of coffees, a little bit of food.
Have your corn
Um,
shot ready?
nah, no more concha. Hey, bro, come on. It's 2022, bro. We can't do the conchas right now.
Chef's still
No
doing corn
concha.
shots. I don't give a dang. You gym or not.
And hey, hey, you know what? You know what's good though, honestly, before you work out, and I read this,
The
it's
cochito.
like no, not shut the fuck up, dude. Um, like a regular glazed donut supposedly is
Jeez
a good
Louise.
I know. I read that that's what a lot of bodybuilders do is they'll or even like competitive weightlifters dudes like that are CrossFit, like they'll eat a glazed donut, get going.
Jeez Louise. That's just the sugar, bro, kicking in like the Red Bull.
And
I mean, it's just a sugar high.
my dog G Funky drinking already, huh, brother? What time is it over
Man.
there where you're at, man? We're at 8:30 going on over here where we're at. So the
Yeah.
only drinking I'm doing is staying hydrated off this H2O, baby.
Yeah. I won't
Um,
drink till a little. Give it a couple hours. Give it a couple hours, G Funky, man. Really appreciate you, man, coming on and commenting though, doing what you're doing for us, man.
yeah, yeah. And then to anybody that's out there that catches this stream, go and follow G Funky, man. His content's good. I've been following him since the HCP days. He's still part of the HCP. I mean, he'll drop some videos on you once in a while. You just got to be subscribed. Subscribe to G Funky. He's got great theories on boxing. He just did yesterday. I don't remember what fight it was, but he did like a fantasy fight. I think it was Marquez. Oh, that's what it was. Marquez and Alexa Arguello. He did a
Yep.
fantasy fight, man. Imagine that.
No, for
But
sure. And I want to give a shout out to Federico Boxing, channel, from Mexico. They've actually talked a lot with Cuadras, they talked with Isaac Pitbull this week, and I just feel that Federico Boxing is coming up too, the boxing cast, and they're pretty cool, man. But shout out to them, for dropping, some great interviews this week, from some of the boxers going at it this week too. So
yeah, absolutely. So I guess like doing like just a little quick freestyle off some of the stuff that's been happening like all week. We know the news that we got yesterday. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit, or the day before yesterday. My days are a little fucked up, but Ryan Garcia fighting Tagbo.
yeah.
And
Does that I don't know if that says anything, but that pretty much tells you like what I think about it. He posted yesterday that nobody wants to fight him. I'm like, oh, time out, bro, time out. No, 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 no. I mean, who's this guy? I mean, he's told the dude, I shout out Togbo. I mean, yeah, shout out Togbo for fighting Ryan Garcia. Jesus, swear.
yeah,
I mean, Ryan Garcia is the name in the lightweight division. I do that right now because we're questioning. I'm pretty sure everybody's questioning this fight. De La Hoya seems pretty confident in this fight. But that's not the fight we want to see. I mean, Jojo Diaz is there. Jojo Diaz is there. We have, I mean, the whole lightweight division is there. I mean,
yeah,
there's
man.
Haney. I mean, we go back. I mean, even fight Devin Haney, I don't give a dang. Fight somebody, man. But just, I, I, I just think it's a shame, man, that he went this route. I mean, I understand coming off an injury. We talked about that before too.
Mhm.
But like you could give the people a little bit more, you know, of a fight. Not taking nothing away from Togbo, that I have seen him throw down. But I just think it's just too easy of a match for Ryan. Just
Yeah.
honest opinion.
I mean, as far from what I know, and I read a little bit about Tagbo,
He's a brawler.
he's a brawler. His only loss was his very first fight, and he's coming off a 18-win fight streak. So, I mean, who's to know really? I mean, usually when some of these guys fight, some guys nobody really has heard of. We go back,
They
do a
usually
little
make the good
research.
fight. They usually
Yeah,
make the
we
good fight.
yeah we go back, do a little research, and we see exactly what's going on, what this guy could bring to the table. You mentioned as well that there was other fighters out there that he could have fought, and like I was on board for the Tevin Farmer.
Oh yeah,
Like
me too. I
I was
mean, I
all on
was
board
too.
for Tevin Farmer, and I guess actually this earlier this week too, Jojo Diaz's name was even thrown out there, and I think Jojo Diaz was even on board for that one.
Yeah.
So
Well, he even said, "Call me. I'm ready to sign the contract."
Yeah,
But
and
this is just. I think this is just a fight, like we talked about before, just to see where this thing is, just to
mhm.
see where his wrist is, because we don't. I mean, I don't even think his confidence level right now. I mean, ever since, like we said, the knockdown of the Luke Campbell, I
Yep.
think it's gone from here to here. You know, so right now he's stuck in that line
Yeah.
where I think he just needs to find himself. I'm thinking maybe this fight, maybe he will, use this fight to find his range again, to find his, this punching style again. I mean, maybe that's what's doing. Maybe that's what he's doing. Uh, but I mean, Ryan, Oscar. I mean, happy birthday to Oscar De La Hoya yesterday, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and that was
great,
the
one of the greats,
announcement. Yeah, that was.
one of the
Oh,
greats.
that's right, because that was actually the day he actually announced it. Was yesterday. He was announcing it over his birthday. He said, "A birthday gift to me, Ryan Garcia against Tagbo." Um, I mean,
And
look,
he had a.
I could
Go ahead.
totally see. I'm sorry, I could totally see the wrist thing. Hey, give me one moment, real quick. Hold that thought. I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back. Speak a little bit. I'll be right back.
But yeah, like George was just saying, I mean, uh, um, yes, it was still his birthday yesterday. It was a present to him. He Ryan Garcia. I mean, I don't know the thoughts that some of you people have, but about what he's been doing lately. I mean, a lot of the TikTok things, a lot more videos. People have been talking a lot of crap. That he's has more highlights doing TikTok. But hey, it is what it is. But now I just think it's time for the ball game for Ryan Garcia. It's time for him to step it up. I mean, if this is a tune-up fight for him, which is looking like it possibly might be, I don't know if. I mean, Ryan Garcia just needs to fight a top-level fighter. He definitely does need to fight a top-level fighter. It's just the point of when will he fight a more high-level fighter.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, man. There's a little bit of coffee in that water.
Right on.
Yeah. So back to my thought, and I was listening to you a little bit, and you're right, man. We want to see him do what he promised, and when he mentioned him coming back, he said that he was not taking any kind of light tune-up fights.
Well, let's
Now,
hear
so
it.
yeah, here it is. And you know what? I think a majority of everybody was saying, look, if he wasn't mentioning, oh, you know what, I want nothing but the top guys. I want Cambosos. I know Cambosos out. I'll beat Devin Haney. I'll beat this guy. I'll beat that guy. Now, if he just kind of stayed back away from the social media and didn't, run his mouth, I mean, I think everybody would be like, okay, cool. It's a tune-up. We get it. He's trying to see where his wrist is at in this fight. But I think when you're wolfing tickets out there like that, we're expecting for you to deliver. Um, Again, nobody really's heard of Tagbo other than knowing that he's lost his first fight, and from there on, he's won the rest of them.
Yeah, been on a tear since.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm I'm not gonna give him a complete pass, but I understand it is a tune-up. It is his wrist is hurt, but this isn't what he promised, and this isn't what we wanted. But after this fight, man,
No excuse.
no excuses. There's got to be something big. Something big is gotta come
Oscar,
from this.
Oscar, we're talking to you. I'm talking to you specifically. Like, it's time. You were in the biggest fights ever. Now time to put your cash cows in the freaking in the water now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Speaking of Oscar, you know, boxing off the ropes. I was representing for us the other day on Chicano Profits
Hell yeah.
page, and dude, and that was such a good subject. And me and him, we've talked off camera before, messaging, phone calls, and I really love the idea of that of going back and scoring cards, scoring old fights, and I think that's something you'll see from me and Julian. We'll be doing that. We'll go back and score some cards, and then we also have another topic where we go back and we look at some of the best pound for pound top 10, and we'll go back to see where some of these top 10 guys were at, um, and just go from there. But back to Oscar De La Hoya. Yes, he. I think that's what we got to see from Ryan Garcia is obviously take a page, and I think that's just the thing is De La Hoya is trying to groom him just like him, or just trying to find like that next golden boy. He's got the looks, he's flashy, he's got some good power, but just something's just not delivering, man. And I'm afraid to say this. I'm afraid
Just say
for
it.
Ryan Garcia, and I'm be kind of afraid to say this, but we don't know the mindset of the Team Canelo or what's going to happen. Is Eddie? Is this something that they've already agreed on the side and said, yeah, we know you're not going to fight somebody. Yes, you're fighting, but remember you're in. Yeah, it's hard to say, man. We really don't know until it happens. But here's the division. Here
Loaded.
it is. The 135 is
loaded.
Loaded. Yeah, you can go from 1 to 10, and you can pretty much
pull 1 through 15, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, you can and when these fights were about to get announced, man, like my two top guys that would have been I'm not gonna call it tune-up, but a good competitive fight would have been Isaac Cruz and Tevin Farmer. Those two would have been ideal for me.
Oh yeah, for all of us.
Ryan Garcia to come back.
Well, that's for all of us, man. But hey, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're gonna get him. We're finally gonna get him in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, today, people, it's just a loaded day of boxing. There is some UFC today. The UFC Annex is today too.
Mm.
But hey, man, just catch up, man, to these fights tonight. Like I said, we got Clarissa Shields fighting tonight. Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting today. We got freaking Cuadras, Jesse Bam Rodriguez going at it in Phoenix. And of course, we have our main PBC card tonight with co-feature Leo Santa Cruz versus Keenan Carbajal. And also, the main event is Keith One Time Thurman and Mario Lasteca Barrios, man. So everybody just stay tuned to that tonight. I don't know if you guys are gonna pay $74 for this shit, but
yeah, hey.
But hey, if you want to support, then go ahead. All power to you guys. Any support for fighters is anything.
Yeah, man, that's definitely another one of those touchy subjects, man. I think that was the thing I wanted to bring up a little while ago. So if this was not a pay-per-view or any kind of cost, I think there would be more buzz and more excitement about this card going on, because obviously we obviously know what the big topic about this card is
pay-per-view.
Nobody wants to pay. Yeah, nobody wants to pay the pay-per-view, and it's not because we don't want to pay it. Like it's not worth it. And the crazy thing about it, that was the other thing I was going to mention, is the Charlo and Castano. That's not even a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's on Fox.
No, Showtime.
Oh, that's on Fox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, try. No,
Showtime.
You're right.
Showtime picked that up, man. And you know what? And I'm sure I see what Showtime is doing. They're picking up these good showcased fights, competitive fights, but I don't know what the hell's going on, guys. Like, I think there's so many things that are going into this. Is this the end of PBC? Like, why is PBC putting on these pay-per-views that aren't even pay-per-view worthy? Yes, we do support boxing. We love boxing. And I actually commented on someone's page. I can remember it might have actually been G Funky's page. And I even said, what about $24.99? He's like, absolutely not. And I agreed to that. Like, I was even thinking, what if this was $15.99? I still wouldn't want to and pay this. You think about it, in the main card, I think the only person that actually has a win in their last fight might be Carbajal.
Yeah, really. No, you ain't lying. You're not lying on that, man. But like I said, just stay tuned in tonight, people.
Yeah.
If you're gonna stream it. If you're gonna buy it. If you have DAZN, like I said, you can watch the Cuadras fight. But yeah, just like I said, just stay tuned in tonight. We should get some entertainment tonight on all cards.
G Funky, hey, they're milking a bull, bro. They're milking a bull. You can't milk a bull. Yeah, it is a dry ass cow, bro.
Can you milk a cat? Oh man, but nah, we definitely appreciate all you guys, man, for
Yeah, yeah,
joining
yeah.
us today's
Hmm.
episode.
Yeah, stay
Definitely get back at you guys for the post.
Yeah, stay tuned. We got a special guest in the works. We're just dotting I's and crossing T's, hoping we can get knocked out by Kenny with us on Tuesday. We are trying to get him on this week, but our schedules didn't meet up. And hey, guys, my Twitter's out there. I mean, our Twitter's out there. Our Instagram is out there. If anybody wants to communicate with us or talk with us, there it is right there at the bottom of the screen. On Instagram, it's at off the ropes _ boxing MMA. And then there's the Twitter. It is under my name, but it's under Off the Ropes. So everything is off the ropes. I don't have anything personal on there other than maybe like I'll post like the other day I posted like, hey, if you guys haven't rewatched Desperado, hey dude, man, that movie checks all the boxes. Rodriguez does not miss, but anyways, there we are. If you guys want to get in contact with us, you guys want to come on an episode, or you guys got an idea for another episode, feel free to follow us or message me or DM me, and we'll definitely answer you guys, man. So again, this is a good weekend of boxing. Unfortunately, we got the PBC that is a pay-per-view. Hey, if you got 7 friends or 8 friends, get them all together, $10 each.
Yeah, just get it in there and just watch the fight.
Or just wait an hour later and it'll come out on YouTube.
Yeah, really. But nah, man, appreciate y'all, man. Freaking had a good morning and catch y'all in a couple days.
Yeah, for sure, guys. Again, have a good morning. G Funky, thanks for coming on and watching this with us. And I hope everybody has a good week, man. A good weekend, a good night of fights. So everybody, have yourself a good one.
This is Off the Ropes, man.
Yes.